Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this from Crypto Rover. According to the 4-year cycle, we're already in a bear market. And that's what everybody's saying right now. But things haven't even started yet for XRP. I don't see us in a bear market either. I think this cycle changed. The 4-year cycle is wrapping up. It's coming to an end, and people are starting to realize that. Other people, they're still trapped in history repeating itself. You know, I said it multiple times. History repeats itself until it doesn't. XRP Google Trends is down from 98 in November to 25 today. Retail getting flushed out. I think what it is this. People want instant gratification. They want the market to pop off right now. And if it doesn't happen, they lose interest in it. But then what happens next is the market rebounds, and it rebounds very fast when it happens. And then everybody's FOMOing back in. Wait until retail FOMO shows up, and it is absolutely coming. All it takes is XRP to start to break out, and the FOMO will be absolutely insane. This comes from Bill Morgan. Thanks for sharing. You can just see the Ripple dumping of XRP exerting enormous influence on that correlation between XRP and the other three. What he's talking about is you see how everything is moving in the same pattern right now. Bitcoin, XRP, ETH, and Solana. We're still following Bitcoin. People don't realize that yet. You know, it's like all they see is XRP dropping in price. Just wait until we decouple from Bitcoin. Once that happens, this market will be changed forever. Everything will be about real value, no longer speculation. Analysts say XRP bull run isn't over. $10 to $30 is still on the table. Now that the first ETF went live and we've seen how it performed, I see a lot of other people saying there's no way XRP stays under $100 once all those ETFs go live. I think it's going to be a wait and see thing. You have to see what happens with the other ETFs. How fast is the money pouring in? Is the money continuing to pour in on day 2 and day 3 and so on? That will give us a better idea on how high the price is going to go. But I do agree, we are still on track to see a $10 to $30 XRP during this run. I see a lot of people also, they're very convinced XRP is going to be in double digits by the end of November. Let's see how that Canary spot ETF affects the price of XRP over the next couple of days. Then we'll know what to expect from the Franklin Templeton ETFs and so on. $47 per XRP on the table in case of this mega squeeze. What they're talking about in this article is the Shane Ellis theory. So to be honest, $47 per XRP is on the table this week if there is a Shane Ellis style XRP squeeze on the exchanges. If there is enough inflow for the ETFs, $10 billion, then they need to buy $4 billion at current price. Only $3 billion on exchanges. So what he's saying is that you're going to see all the XRP disappear off the exchanges. And that's the Shane Ellis theory of supply and demand. The problem is they're not buying that XRP off exchanges. What we need to happen is this. Because we know that they're buying over the counter for these ETFs. We need the price to jump even in the slightest. I'm talking about a decent breakout above $3. Retail then comes FOMOing back in and takes all the supply that's left on the exchanges. then we could easily see a price jump very fast for XRP. Will that happen though? We don't really know yet, but it's definitely not going to happen this week. I think it could possibly happen though, maybe by the end of 2025, more likely end of December. SBI to invest 30 billion yen in U.S. Evernorth for cryptocurrency investment utilizing Ripple. So SBI Group will invest $200 million in Evernorth Holdings, a U.S. company that invests in and manages the cryptocurrency Ripple. The investment will give the company approximately 20% of its shares. Evernorth plans to list on the NASDAQ. It also offers a lending service whereby it lends its XRP holdings to institutional investors and receives fees. Financial institutions face the difficulty of directly holding virtual currencies due to regulations and the risk of price fluctuations. So Evernorth, they're also acquiring XRP as well. Those treasury companies, they're still acquiring XRP also. What we're witnessing right now are the early movers buying and holding XRP. Wait until we get that institutional wave, the massive wave that's going to come once we get regulations in place. I'm telling you, scarcity is coming for this cryptocurrency. Expert Raw Paul reveals crypto market outlook as government shutdown ends. So Raw Paul is saying this. He predicts the crypto market as usual government shutdown ends. Bitcoin dips below 100K despite government shutdown ending. Fed policy makers torn on rate cuts for December. We don't know if we're going to get that rate cut in December, but he's still saying that we're going to see a liquidity flood in this market. He still thinks that a breakout is coming for Bitcoin and the rest of crypto as well. Once Bitcoin starts popping off, it's going to take the rest of the market with it. But at some point, you're going to see Bitcoin top out, and altcoins are just going to go on an absolute rip. And when that happens, that's when we're going to really see price jumps on the price of XRP. What I think is going to happen, though, is these ETFs are going to start to push up the price of XRP. You're going to see more treasuries being created, pushing up the price of XRP because XRP is leaving circulation. And as the price goes up, you're going to get that retail FOMO. And all of this could happen before we see the real breakout begin on this cryptocurrency. We're still waiting to see what happens with Bitcoin from here. But Raw Paul still thinks we're going to see a flood of liquidity very soon. And you see it also on the chart. Trump just ended the government shutdown. Last time this exact setup hit, Bitcoin went full parabolic. Now, XRP sits in the ignition zone with ETFs and institutional capital lining up behind the scenes. So they're saying because the last time it happened, you could see how Bitcoin went on an absolute tear. The same thing could happen here for XRP. But you couple that with all the other catalysts. You know, everybody says, well, during alt season, XRP is predicted to go to this price. But they don't factor in the catalyst behind this cryptocurrency. They don't factor in scarcity. They don't factor in anything else that's happening with this cryptocurrency right now. We are on the verge of regulations coming from the U.S. government. That's going to greenlight every single institution out there to get involved in this space. This comes from Axelar. XRP holders on BNB chain just got a new way to earn yield. MXRP, the first liquid staking token for XRP, is now live on Listadeo. Earn up to 10% APY through transparent yield strategies powered by Midas and Axelar. Now, I really like Axelar, But I want to know where this 10% APY is going to come from. I always told you, if you're getting returns, like people are saying you're going to get 6, 7, 8%. I see some people offering 15, 20%. Also, APY. Where is that coming from? Whenever you see an APY like this, there's a lot of risk involved here. And you could very well lose your XRP. I'm telling you, you got to look for an APY. If you want to earn off of your XRP now, always look for an APY at 5% or under. Anything above that, it has risk involved. And the risk can be very high as well. Just in, Gemini shareholder letter reveals the XRP credit card triggered a surge in new users and helped deliver the exchange's most profitable card quarter ever. We expect to continue to invest significant resources in maintaining our first mover position in this category. With the launch of new products, we expect to announce in the near term. Of course, everybody has to have the XRP credit card. And look at the XRP community. It's such a strong community. Johnny Deaton pointed it out multiple times in the past. He said they're 75,000 strong, but they're the strongest community I've ever seen. He said that back when the Rippleverse SEC case was going on. I think there's even more holders now. But whenever they see something around XRP, they have to have it. And, that's really what is bringing all the demand for this cryptocurrency as far as retail. It's people that are new to crypto. They come onto X and right away they're like, what should I invest in now? And you'll have 30, 40 XRP holders saying, this is what you want to invest in. And then they go on to start to explain XRP, how it's built to move the world's money, how it can move anything of value, how at some point it's going to flip Bitcoin's market cap and become the #1 cryptocurrency. That's what's great about being an XRP investor. But, I could say the same thing about HBAR also. They have a very strong community as well. And that community is getting stronger and stronger all the time also. And the same thing with Stellar. You see it there. You see it along all of these ISO cryptocurrencies. Because people look at them and they're like, okay, this is how it solves a problem in the real world. And that is a game changer for a lot of people. You want a cryptocurrency that actually does something. You don't want to hold a cryptocurrency and be like, okay, well, I hope it goes up at some point within this run. Okay, the run just happened. Now what do? I hold for another 4 years. With XRP, it's different because you're holding it now knowing it's going to go up over time, but it's also opening up ways for you to earn off of it now. They're opening up ways for you to shop with it now. They're opening up ways for you to borrow against it now. And you can say all you want about XRP. I know it is going to rise like the phoenix at some point. It's just a matter of time until the BIS calls it a tier 1 asset. And when that happens, it will absolutely be go time for XRP. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.